We are back at 7:12 now on your Thursday morning. Colorado's GOP now waits for a written decision from a federal judge after fighting in court to have unaffiliated voters barred from participating in the state's Republican primary. So in 2016, you may remember that voters passed Prop 108 to allow unaffiliated voters to participate in either the Democratic or Republican primary, but not both.
Our political analysts, Kelly Maher and Alton Diller, join us this morning as we await the judge's decision. Welcome in. It's been a while.
Yeah.
This is exciting to have you guys in. All right, so unaffiliated voters are the fastest growing group of voters in our state right now. Why do you think so many people are making this decision?
I think that's a pretty easy question, to be honest with you. I think a lot of people are fed up with our gridlocked Congress. They're fed up with the dysfunction that they see in our state legislature. And most voters, even though people talk about the ideological extremes, actually play it a little bit more down the middle. They have things that they're conservative on, they have things that they're liberal on, and I just think that's more of a reflection. And to your point, unaffiliated do have the plurality in the state of Colorado.
Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think that this move from a strategic standpoint is kind of a cut off your nose to spite your face kind of thing, right? Like, unaffiliated voters are the biggest and the fastest growing, but also there's plenty of research that shows that once somebody votes for someone once, they're more likely to do it again. So nobody is going to win anything in Colorado without unaffiliated voters, and having them vote that first time makes them more likely than to vote Republican in the general. And even though it's unpopular with registered Republicans, it's like a 50-50 split.
And speaking specifically to the argument now against Prop 108 by the GOP, they are arguing that by having unaffiliated voters participate in the primary, that this sways the vote here. What are your thoughts regarding that? Alton, we'll start with you.
I think that they're probably overstating the calculus there just a little bit, because one of the things that people have to remember, yes, there was Prop 108 that passed in 2016, but in 2017 there was actually legislative action that sort of cleaned up that particular proposition. And in that proposition, they had support from both ends of the political spectrum. The sponsors were people in the state Senate that were on ideological extremes. And so what that did also, that is the legislation that allowed for the fact that you participated in either the Republican or Democratic primary to be public information. Who you vote for is private, but that you vote either Republican or Democrat by returning one of those ballots, that is public information.
All right, so what will this mean for voters, unaffiliated voters, if the court does decide to side with the GOP? What are your thoughts?
I mean, I think that will give the edge to the Democrats, right? Because then they will get a Democrat ballot and not a Republican ballot. And again, as I said, there's research that shows once you vote once for somebody, you're more likely to do it in the general. Tonight, I will be representing 9 News at this debate that you guys were talking about. And I think that that's a really important question to start asking all of these congressional candidates, because what happens at top of ballot is going to be really important down ballot.
And quick question now that you bring up the Congressional District 4 and what some of the changes we're seeing now as you get ready for this debate, anything we should be looking out for ahead of this? Yeah, I mean, your face says it all, Kelly.
it's gonna be a free for all, right? It's gonna be the 8th CD and the 4th CD. But at this point right now, we have the 8th CD, the 4th CD, the 3rd CD is now open because Lauren Boebert's moving, and we have the 5th CD with Doug Lamborn retiring. So really, like, Republicans have, as Ronald Reagan would say, a time for choosing, and this is an opportunity for Colorado Republicans to say, like, who and what the party is moving forward.
That was a loaded question for her. She's like, where do I start?
No, Kelly was ready for it,
I was like, ooh, 10 seconds.
Well, we appreciate you guys so much for coming on. I know that, you know, we're going to be using you as a lot more as the time goes on.
We're in an election year,
We love having you on. Thank you.